recognize myself. Mr. George, I want to come back to you. You know, trust is a series of promises kept. And so I would look at that when we make agreements in regards to national forests or multiple use of public lands, that you're forming an internal treaty. Now, on the forest we're talking about, the national forest, there's something very unusual about this agreement because it actually had a buffer system enclosed, right?
Not an expert on the you're talking about the boundary waters and
Absolutely.
yep. Yeah, there was when the boundary waters were created, and I'm not an expert in that policy, but my understanding is, and we've all come to understand that mining was an activity that was supposed to happen
Right.
in the region.
There was areas that set aside for the logging
Correct.
and for mining.
Correct.
And so, we have to start looking at this. And Dr. Moats actually brought one of my other points. You just can't recycle. You have to add virgin material into almost all this stuff. Mr. Mintz, have we started really any of the recycling for the solar cells right now?
Thank you, Mr. Gosar. Thank you for that question. Yes, recycling for recycling of the solar products is fairly robust, and it's a growing industry. And in fact, the truth is that with respect to the solar industry, I don't think we'll need to do much mining to source the minerals we need for the solar technologies. We do have weak links in other areas of the solar supply chain. It's just not in mining.
Dr. Moats, you shaking your head. Do you want to respond to that question?
So I agree with him that most solar panels are already recycled here in the United States. I'm very familiar with some of the processes, so they're very robust. But if you look at, and there's been multiple studies done at the growth of solar energy that is being projected, there is no way we're going to be able to recycle to supply all of the solar silicon panels and the tellurium that's needed. I've written several research papers on this, looking at where we can get more tellurium in the world. And the simple answer is we need to produce more from our existing operations and future mines. Thank you.
And you made a statement, I think several of you made statements in regards to, we don't know what the needs are for the future. And when you start looking that way, you have to inventory these minerals as we go. So are you familiar with some of the new technology and actually the smelting process in regards to extraction of some of these metals or minerals? In fact, all of the minerals out of the ore body? Dr. Moats?
Yes, we have several research projects ongoing at the university, and I'm aware of other ones as well, where we're looking at advanced technologies to really analyze why are we not recovering more. So the current research believes that again, we'll go to tellurium, because that's what I've been looking at most recently. 60 to 90% of the tellurium that's mined is not being recovered. So why is that? Why are we not doing that? So we're using advanced technologies and looking at why that is, and that can be applied across the board to all of our mining operations, all of our processing plants, and that's what I would encourage you to look at.
Thank you. Mr. Mintz again. So why would it be a problem that we have existing mine sites? For example, a manganese mine site in my district. Why would the federal government, because of technology that we have today, that we can extract almost all the manganese from those tailings that are sitting there, why would the federal government resist and say no to that?
Thank you, Mr. Gosar, for that question. The federal government has said yes, resoundingly has said yes. The infrastructure law funded $320 million to the United States, I think that's right, to USGS to do exactly what you just described. And so it's my belief, and I'm not a geologist, but I think the geologists are pretty excited right now because there are real opportunities to, for example, look at mine waste as a potential source of some of these materials. I think it's really important. There are some places where that actually I'm going to just speak for some of Earthworks constituents. We've had some people come to us and say, under some circumstances, that could be a good idea, that could work. Others have said, no, we're already an EPA Superfund site. Please don't come back here and start mucking around in the metals already. So the answer is yes, Mr. Gosar, at least in some areas, under some circumstances, that is a viable opportunity.
Well, I would agree, but we need to make it uniform all the way across the board. If these are sites that have had previous mining, we ought to make sure that those areas are prioritized. And that's not been the case in Arizona. So with the manganese. So My time has expired, so I will, we got votes any time now, if I'm not mistaken. Do we want to do a second round? Sure. Okay.